Welcome back to NFL Imperialism, but every player is in their prime. All of a sudden, Aaron Rodgers has been boosted to the highest overall he's ever been, back to a 99. And the same goes for many familiar names that dominated the league years ago. But before I name drop to the teams, as always, I will spin for team selection and direction, and the teams will attack and expand until there's one team remaining. If a team's arrow lands another team, they will battle head-to-head, with a winner claiming all land to their best player. And an arrow to an unclaimed state will be an expansion, which grants a player from the free agent pool, which will be very strong today. That's because some players who were once prime superstars are now unemployed. For instance, Stephon Gilmore is the lone 99 overall free agent, waiting to be claimed by the first team to expand today. Odell Beckham Jr. is a 96, his highest rating ever, dating back to his Cleveland Brown days in Madden 20. Dalvin Cook is back to a 95. It's crazy how fast he fell off. His own brother James Cook completely shadows over him now. And Ezekiel Elliott is back to a 94, waiting to be claimed as well. But before we go over our best teams, let's take a look at our power-ups today. Landing in the state of Utah is Evolved, where this team's bottom two players will be boosted to the overall of their best player. Heading northwest to the state of South Dakota, we get Rewind finally back, where this team gets to add 2 players from their franchise's history, so it went from 1 to 2. Now heading south to Mississippi, where Clover lands, where this team will get 2 extra entries on the selection wheel. South Carolina is up next, which they get Double Trouble, where this team will get 2 players for every successful attack. Jumping over the Carolina Panthers into Virginia, we get Afterlife, where this team will get a second life. And right next door in West Virginia is Clone, where this team will get a second land area. And just down the street in Delaware, we have a new power-up today called Fast Forward, which is the opposite of Rewind, where this team will get to add 2 of their best players on their team after a 10-year franchise simulation. And finally, up to Vermont, we have the classic Bandit, where this team will get to steal 2 players from 2 random teams. Now let's talk about the best teams. We'll start with the Steelers. I already mentioned Aaron Rodgers is a 99, but you know who's also joining him in that club? Jalen Ramsey on defense at a 99 overall, and TJ Watt as well, who's currently in his prime of his career at his highest Madden rating ever at a 97. Kansas City will look really good today, as they're going back to, you know, the time where everyone did not hate them. Mahomes is a 99, Kelsey's a 99, Chris Jones is a 97, right up there with the Steelers. The Commanders are a banged up old team in real life, but this is their episode to shine, with Bobby Wagner at 99 overall, Von Miller at 99 overall, Marshawn Lattimore 92 overall. All of these players have been playing for at least 8 or 9 years now. San Francisco is the same story. This team can just not stay healthy. All of these players are essentially in their prime right now, except CMC, who's not a 99 anymore. Trent Williams is currently a 99, and George Kittle is a 98 as well. But the most threatening team today, I believe, is the Baltimore Ravens, with 3 99s, a trio at quarterback, running back, and receiver. Lamar Jackson 99, Derrick Henry 99, and DeAndre Hopkins back to a 99 overall. Just to give you an idea how top heavy this episode is, I'm just going to scroll through all of the 99s and just high rated players. There is a lot of them today. So now let's go over our map, and there is a lot going on the East Coast today. First team of interest is the Carolina Panthers, who's in the near vicinity of 4 power-ups today, with 2 sharing their borders. They might not have the roster compared to some teams north of them, but if they get going early, they have a high chance of winning today. Let's talk about the teams north of them, and a lot of these teams I already talked about in the intro how good they are. The Steelers, the Ravens, the Commanders. It's going to be very unfortunate that only one team can come out of this area alive. And the tradition continues, with the Denver Broncos will share a border with a power-up to begin. I wonder how many episodes in a row this has happened. And with all that being said, we have 32 teams in their prime. We have 8 power-ups, and we have 1 country waiting to be claimed as one. We will begin NFL Imperialism on turn number 1. But before we begin, Santa's not the only one dropping packages this year, if you know what I mean. And that's why Santa delivered to me the perfect in-season festive Dude Wipes Dingle Bells, perfect for keeping your downstairs merry and bright. Dude Wipes brings up an important question. Why wipe dry? Because you wouldn't want to shower with just a dry towel, so why should you wipe with dry paper? In this instance, wetter is better, as Dude Wipes are extra large, extra wet, and are made of 99% of water and plant-based natural fibers, which makes them flushable. But on top of the seasonal Dingle Bells, you can find other scented options, such as Shea Butter, Mint Chill, or the one I have here, which is Herbal Relief. I don't think your other wipes out there can do this. You can also get packs for every situation. Big packs at home, travel sizes for the gym or vacations, or even on-the-go wipes perfect for your wallet or a stocking stuffer. Santa's not the only thing sliding down a chimney this year, so leave no trace. Get Dude Wipes today on Amazon and at local retailers nationwide, because even Santa keeps a pack in his sleigh. Thanks to Dude Wipes for sponsoring today's video, and let's get spinning with turn number 1. So, turn number 1 of Prime NFL Imperialism will begin with the New York Jets. I don't think you should be allowed to say the word Prime and Jets in the same sentence, but maybe they have some good players? Well, they will now. They get the first expansion today, which means they get the best player in the free agent pool. So, Stephon Gilmore will join Sauce Gardner in the cornerback room in New York. Well, I guess they have a player in their prime now, as we now spin again for the Seattle Seahawks. Which, fortunate for them, they sit alone in the northwest part of the United States of America, and they automatically get an expansion here for the next best player. This arrow will go northeast, which will clip the top of Idaho, which will give the Seattle Seahawks Odell Beckham Jr., but he's not even the best receiver in this room. Cooper Kupp in his prime, a 98 overall, and Jackson Smith-Njigba at a 91. Cooper Kupp gets that rating from his great 2021-2022 season where he won the Triple Crown and the Super Bowl. Now we go to the Dallas Cowboys. Are they looking for yet another expansion? We are quickly going through the free agent pool, the best players at least. They're going north. Make it 3 expansions in a row as the Dallas Cowboys will barely hit the top of the Oklahoma Panhandle. Man, they really want to get these good players out of the way. The Dean Scripps' videos crowd is going to love this one. Ezekiel Elliott is signing with the Dallas Cowboys in the free agent pickup. It only made sense. Not a lot of good free agents left. We need to start losing some games. The Niners are up. This team is essentially in their prime when they're fully healthy as they will travel southeast, giving us game number 1 today as the Niners will travel to Sin City to take on the Las Vegas Raiders. Surprising start to say the least. However, the Raiders do have prime Geno Smith, although that's not saying too much, but we start really fast with a Christian McCaffrey rushing touchdown and should tie the game up at 13. That CMC touchdown brought us to overtime. Now, about what I was saying about Geno Smith, his prime in his career is 81, which he achieved in Madden 24. In real life, just for context, he is a 72 overall, so a big difference. Even worse, he started this Madden at a 78 overall, so the Raiders really should move on from Geno Smith, but at least he's in his prime today. He's an empty set. 3rd and 6 in overtime. He gets a first down to the 40. Good break off the slant by Trey Tucker. Now Genty gets his number called, and he only gains a yard or two. 3rd down and 8. This is in range of the NFL kickers we have today, but I would imagine they want to get a little bit closer than this. 3rd and 8. Geno Smith, completion. First down to the 26. That went to Raheem Mostert. There he goes again, and this time he's going backwards. 2nd and 13. Geno keeps it on play action. He gets rid of it, and an incompletion intended for Brock Bowers. It's 3rd and 13. 2 for 2 on 3rd downs on this drive already. Can they get a third? Brock Bowers is not close to the markers, and they'll have to kick a field goal from this distance. Carlson to make it 16 to 13 in overtime, and the Niners will get it back down by 3. This would be a disappointing bounce in game number 1 if the Niners cannot come up with points here. It's a fumble. It's on the ground. The Raiders pick it up. The Niners will lose game 1. Jeremy Chin with the fumble recovery. The Niners, George Kittle, CMC, Fred Warner, Trent Williams, Brock Purdy, all in their prime, lose the first game today. It goes to the backup tight end Tongues who fumbles it. Why not go to George Kittle in that situation? Final score 16 to 13 from overtime. The first player still today will be Christian McCaffrey as he heads to Vegas. I will have to warn you guys about a mistake I made in this video as some players are still in IR. I forgot to change the rosters when I was editing it, so that means Fred Warner and Nick Bosa cannot be released. Therefore, they will not be in the free agent pool today as alongside other players like Tyreek Hill and Mike Evans. But what a huge first win for the Las Vegas Raiders taking down the Niners. An insane turn 1 with 3 expansions and one of the best teams ever in this series knocked out in the very first game. Now let's go to the Cleveland Browns, who other than Myles Garrett, they do have somebody in their prime you might have to watch out for, especially if you're going to your local massage parlor. You could probably guess who it is. I'm kidding. We all know Deshaun Watson is innocent, as in his prime, he's a 91 overall, and he's taking on the Indianapolis Colts on the road. This is a tough first game for Deshaun Watson back in his prime. He's playing a really good Indianapolis Colts team, but he throws one up for a catch at the 13-yard line. I believe that was Isaiah Bond with a grab. Now Jerome Ford hits the outside, can't break one tackle, but he brings it to the 9. I know they have a decent quarterback now, but this really could be another huge upset to start. David Njoku gets the first down on the 2. Can they punch this one in with Jerome Ford? No, going backwards, lost the 2. Wasting some more time, Jerome Ford breaks this one, and he just short of the plane. He almost had it. This is sneak territory for Deshaun Watson. Yes, it is, but DeForest Buckner comes up with a huge stop, which makes it 4th down and goal. Can the Colts stop the Browns here? Jerome Ford walks it in. They almost stopped him, but the Browns can take the lead with the extra point. Not to my surprise, the Colts go right down the field and are threatening to score a touchdown. The Browns might start calling timeouts. Never mind, 90 seconds remaining. Daniel Jones steps up to this throw. There's a flag, but it's a first down to Pittman at the moment. Holding on the offense, that's a pretty big penalty. Back him up 10 yards and stop the clock. 2nd and 18. This is get those yards right back. So now it's 3rd down and 9. If the Colts can't pick up this first down, Cleveland gets another shot. Daniel Jones just gets rid of it and incomplete. Josh Downs couldn't hold on. Clock stops with 1:23. A very costly offensive holding call, which now means the Browns actually get some time to put some points on the board. They had that first down on lock. It would have drained out the clock if holding wasn't called. 1:15 remaining. Can they cook up a field goal winning drive? David Njoku starts strong with a first down. 69 seconds remaining from the 34, and this one will be 8 yards out of bounds. Okay. 61 seconds. Deshaun Watson's gonna run, and he breaks through the linebackers for the 49. Still holding on to that final timeout in their back pocket. This would be a huge upset, but David Njoku can't come down with it. That was field goal range right there, but they'll get this one to Jerry Jeudy as he gets to the 43. Their final timeout's called with 34 seconds. Looking at a 58-yard field goal from this distance. Not anymore. There goes Isaiah Bond, the rookie, into field goal range. They have no timeouts, however. All he had to do was run out of bounds. Now the Browns cannot get their field goal unit on the field, so they're going to run a play with 8 seconds. This has to be out of bounds or what was that? What was that? The Cleveland Browns choke away this game and just awful time management. We were this close to having 2 really good upsets in our very first 2 games, but the Colts will hold on. They'll win game number 2, 23-21. Madden 26, everyone. Gotta love it. But now Myles Garrett will head to Indianapolis on right edge, 99 overall. Yeah, I think calling that timeout with 34 seconds probably led to your downfall, Cleveland. You're always